Gentleman from Stillwater, Representative Williams, recognized for 10 minutes in debate in opposition to the measure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it's appropriate that we just recently debated a history bill, and the representative from Garfield County said that we need to learn history so that we are not doomed to repeat our past failures. If ever there were a situation where we are repeating our past failures, it is every time that we add a fee, fine, or cost to criminal prosecution of any kind. You don't have to take my word on it. I'm the guy that gets up and says this every single time. But there are a lot of people in this building brought here at the behest of the Republican governor because of that will say the exact same thing. This is not a way to increase public safety, and it is absolutely no way to build a criminal justice system. You know, if we're going to make the argument that we're just going to raise things that haven't been raised in 16 years, I've got a few taxes out there, gross production being one of them. We can go ahead and raise to cover the cost, but we don't seem to be willing to talk about that, and I don't think it's exactly fiscally conservative to make the argument, well, we haven't raised it in 16 years, so it's just due time. But more importantly, what I want to go through with this body, and I'm not for sure that most of you are aware of it, first off, I resent the implication that because I'm going to vote red on this, I'm against law enforcement. I'm for law enforcement. I'm actually an officer of the court. Like, it's part and parcel to my job. But I believe that I have a benefit from law enforcement. I believe that every single person in this room or that lives within the borders or is traveling through the borders of the state of Oklahoma have a benefit for law enforcement. And if we really, really believe what we say, we ought to pay for public safety as opposed to loading it on somebody else so we get to go home and tell everybody we lowered your taxes, but we still provide all of the core services of government. But if you are indigent and you want an attorney to represent you, guess what you have to pay? $40. That's a fee. The application for indigent defense. Let's go through the rest of them. Bear with me. It's 2 pages of fees. Trauma Care Assistance Revolving Fund. That's $100. Court costs. That varies a little bit. On this particular case, it was $83. DA Counsel Prosecution Assessment, $30. Oklahoma Court Information System Revolving Fund, $25. Sheriff's Service, $10. Medical Expense Liability Revolving Fund, $10. Trauma Care Assistance Revolving Fund, $10. Cleat Penalty Assessment, $9. Law Library Fee, $6. Forensic Science Improvement Fee, $5 for now, quite likely $10 in a few minutes. Sheriff's Service on Arrest, $5. AFIS Fee, $5. Bureau of Narcotics Drug Education Revolving Fund, $5. CHAB Statutory Fee, $3. Attorney General Victim Service Unit, $3. Victims Comp Assessment, $30. Fines payable to the county, $350. Court Clerk Admin Fee, $22. District Court Admin Fee, $33. DA Fee, Inmate Jail Cost, $3. Sheriff's Fund, $27. Trauma Care Assistance Revolving Fund, again, $100. And it just keeps going. Now, that's on an actual misdemeanor. You want to switch over here? I'll pull my own speeding ticket because I'm not above the law either, and we can go through that. Oklahoma Court Information System Revolving Fund, $25. DA Prosecution Assessment, $10. Fines, $10. Sheriff's Service Fee, $10. Cleat Assessment, $9. AFIS Fee, $5. Sheriff's Service on Arrest, $5. Forensic Science Improvement Fund, again, $5. Attorney General, $3. CHAB Statutory Fee, $3. Court Clerk Admin Fee, $650, etc., etc., etc. If you want to know why we lead the nation in incarceration, it starts here. Now, I know some of you may say that that's a stretch. It's actually not. Now, this isn't a Republican problem, and I'm not mad at the gentleman that's running the bill. I'm mad at us. I'm not even mad at OSBI for running the bill. You see, when you bleed organizations, and you continually bleed organizations, then they try to find clever ways to pay their bills and keep the lights on. That's why OSBI is here today. And we see the DAs do it a lot too, because we continually bleed them. Now, this started under Democrat control, but you guys aren't off the hook, because every year that I've been here, we've tried to do something just like this, and most of the time we've been successful. Since I've been here, the DA prosecution fee, which used to be called the supervising fee, went from an optional $15 to now a mandatory $40 a month, plus a $40 fee that actually goes to the supervising agency. Now, I'm not good at math. I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm going to tell you that's a $65 a month increase to anybody that touches the criminal justice system in the state of Oklahoma. So you're right, Representative. This $5, is it the straw that breaks the camel's back? I don't know. But if we are to learn from history, we can say that what we have been doing the last 20 years is the wrong way. Our arrest rates are still exactly identical to what they were. So we haven't lowered crime, we haven't increased public safety, but what we have done in a very short-sighted approach of cost shifting, we said we don't want to pay for that. If you're involved in the system, you should pay for that. Okay, well, you're going to pay for it $5 at a time. What we end up doing, though, is costing ourselves somewhere between $19,000 and $22,000 a year whenever we incarcerate these people for failure to pay fines, fees, and costs. And again, one little $5 fee doesn't get us there. But I read you 2.5 pages of fees that are attached to every prosecution in the state of Oklahoma. So when you add them one at a time, the first one isn't a problem. The fifth one, probably not a problem. But when you keep going and you've got 2.5 pages, I can tell you why we incarcerate more people than Texas, Arkansas, New Mexico, Kansas, Colorado. I can tell you why we have double the incarceration rate for females than Thailand. That bastion of human rights on the eastern half of the globe. And it's because this is what we are doing. If you vote red today, you're not against law enforcement, and I resent any implication thereof. If you vote red today, you're saying you believe in law enforcement so much so that you will put your checkbook where your mouth is, and you will pay for it, because we all benefit from public safety. You cannot continue to fund a criminal justice system like this. It will bankrupt our state far before entitlement programs ever do.